What's up, you guys? This is Coach Jacob with CAB Training, and in this video I'm going to give you guys 3 keys to speed training. I speed train football players for a living, and I've done so for almost 4 years now, and these are my top 3 keys to improve your speed through proper training. Let's get into tip number 1. First key to speed training is to sprint. If you want to get faster, you have to sprint. It's just like playing the piano or just like riding a bike. You have to continue to get back on the bike. You have to get back on that piano and play in order to get better at it. But from a physiological and a biomechanical standpoint, you have to sprint in order to improve your speed. You have to challenge your central nervous system. You have to prime your central nervous system. You have to prime and challenge your muscles in order to raise your speed ceiling, improve the maximum force that you can create while sprinting, improve your flexibility. There are so many things that go on when pushing your body to its absolute limit when sprinting as fast as you possibly can that creates those adaptations to improve your speed. So you have to sprint in order to improve your speed. No, you don't go on a ladder. No, you don't do cone drills. No, you can't just lift weights to improve your speed. You have to sprint to improve your speed. Do it 2 to 3 times per week. Make sure you don't take more than a couple weeks off from sprinting after a season, just so you guys don't lose your speed gains. Scientific studies prove and have suggested that speed detrains within 5 to 7 days. So make sure you guys sprint as much as you can, 2 to 3 times per week, as consistently as possible, and you will improve and maintain your speed over the long term. The second key to speed training is rest and recovery. Now, when we sprint 2 to 3 times per week, we don't sprint in back-to-back days. If you sprint in back-to-back days, you're not giving your muscles and central nervous system the proper recovery time to recharge and adapt, right? Just like in strength training, the adaptation comes from recovery. The strength improvements, the muscle growth comes from recovery. And the same happens when you sprint and you improve your speed. So when we talk about recovery for speed training, in between sessions, we want to have between 48 and 72 hours of recovery. That way our central nervous system and our muscles can recover. In between sprints, my rule of thumb and a lot of the best speed coaches around the world's rule of thumb in between your sprint reps is 1 minute per 10 yards sprinted. So if you run a 40-yard dash, the rule of thumb is to get a 4-minute rest in between those 40-yard dashes. Especially if you're on your own training and you are on your own time, do that. Don't defy what your coaches tell you at your practices. I don't want you guys to lose points in the mind of your coaches if they have you do 40s for conditioning on your own. This is when you're sprinting and speed training on your own. 1 minute of rest per 10 yards sprinted, and that's the best recovery time in between sprints. So again, just abide by 48 to 72 hours in between speed sessions. I like to do Monday, Thursday for my speed sessions. Some people do Monday, Thursday, Saturday, or even Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That split will help you. And then for a minute per 10 yards rest in between sprints, and you'll be good to go. The third key to improving your speed is by jumping. Jumping is so important, and it wasn't an important part of my programming and of my training regimen until I finally learned the importance of being able to jump. Jumping high, jumping far, and jumping often. When we're accelerating off the line, we are using horizontal force. We are creating horizontal force. So the best way to improve your horizontal force is by doing broad jumps. When you are in your upright sprint mechanics, you're still producing horizontal force, but you're also producing vertical force, right? Your foot is hitting the ground rapidly. My favorite ways to improve your vertical force, to improve the speed on the top end, is high hurdle hops. And so if you use broad jumps and high hurdle hops to improve your force production, you can improve how much force that you put into those steps on the first several steps of your sprint when you're accelerating, and that top end of your speed when you're in those upright mechanics later on in the sprint. So jumping is so important. One of the things that changed me when I was younger was jumping rope, just being able to have more reactive feet and lower leg muscles so I can react off the ground faster. And again, just being able to improve that force production, because sprinting is all about producing the maximum amount of force in the least amount of time possible. So Jumping is a reflection of that, and it's so important to your speed gains. So those were my 3 keys to success when speed training. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys want more of this type of stuff and more training tips and advice, I would highly recommend you watch the rest of my channel and check out the rest of my videos. I try to organize my channel into different playlists based on your wants and needs. I also have an online platform that has a whole bunch of workouts, full programs, drills, and exercises that you guys can do to improve your speed and agility and skills on the football field. If you're interested, check out the link in my description, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and don't forget to get better today.